teaching practices in many cultural systems continue to be predominantly instructor centered, based on teacher led instruction or on memorization that presents established facts or portrays a so called smooth path to knowledge. However, intercultural and global competences, which involve working on attitudes and behaviors across intercultural interactions, are better developed through experiential learning, small group activities or projects, case studies, simulations, professional field experiences, and so on. These are the primary learning tools. Indeed, according to the constructivist learning paradigm and to adult learning theories such as Piaget's or Kolb's or Dewey's, learning is an active, creative, learner generated process grounded on previous experience. The role of teachers is to structure and offer experience as a stimulus to students, to engage them in all three dimensions of the attitudinal change triangle: cognition, affection or emotion, and behavior. Consequent to the experience, teachers can draw upon the students' experiences to construct and facilitate their awareness. The reactions of the participants can become the main material for reflection. Their own cultural identity that discovered across interactions, the awareness of multicultural group dynamics, how participants or groups interact with one another, among others. These are to be used as a source of learning with instructor led reflection, of course. Classroom conversations are led by teachers showing openness and respect for different opinions, viewpoints, facilitating a reflection on their experiences, and validating or reframing while suspending judgments. Class interactions activate and make use of students' diversity and intercultural dialogues and stimulate students' development of intercultural and global citizenship skills. Hence, teachers can modify their courses, programs, integrating intercultural and global skills, but they can also adapt their teaching methods and strategies just to continuously and consciously facilitate their students' development of these competences. In order to select learning activities to propose to students, interculturalists like Janet Bennett, Janine Gregerson, and Margaret Push take into consideration the Kolb's cycle, which proposes that learning occurs through four phases: experience, reflection upon that experience, conceptualization, and experimentation. So, how do you go through these four stages of deep learning according to Kolb? What they suggest that we ask ourselves is this: regarding experience, does the activity we are proposing helps learners to build knowledge on their existing experience, feeding off intercultural experiences, on the experience of diversity inside or outside the classroom, or on examples from their own lived experience? Regarding reflection upon the experience, does the activity proposed offers the opportunity to reflect and to connect with their personal learning journeys, understanding their own and others' reactions and viewpoints in those experiences? Regarding conceptualization, does the proposed activity support learner in examining a concept or framework, making sense of the reflection by connecting it to existing intercultural or cultural specific concepts or frameworks? And finally, regarding experimentation, does the proposed activity help the learner apply a concept in a pragmatic and relevant way, apply what has been learned in a way that it generates new experience to reflect on. For example, trying out a new model for conflict resolution, or practicing a new behavior to better adapt to another culture, or showing up in a different way to a similar situation, and therefore moving forward in our competence. When we're designing a learning activity, we should aim at helping our students progress their ability to master intercultural dialogue by going through all the four phases in this called cycle in an ongoing way. Another aspect that Jeanette Bennett, Janine Gregerson, and Margaret Push suggest to consider is, how does the proposed activity work with people belonging to different cultural groups? Regarding the second point, we may want to review didactic activities through the various cultural filters present in the classroom, considering students' nationality, ethnicity, race, gender, age, socioeconomic class, religion, physical ability, and any other pillar of diversity. For whom will this activity seem most natural? For whom will it seem most alien? Will various gender, ethnic, and or cultural groups resist this activity, or will they be open to it? To what degree? The more prepared we are beforehand, considering the different scenarios and taking into account the inclusion of the diversity within the classroom, the more we'll be able to balance, challenge, and support. Remember, we don't learn anything new inside our comfort zones. At the same time, if we feel overly challenged, students can become resistant and frustration might increase. So, in order to facilitate classroom intercultural dialogue and students' development of intercultural and global competencies, our aim is to show more than tell our students how their own cultural background influences their worldview, and secondly, how they can use curiosity to open up the door to a dialogue that can help us understand different perspectives and bridge those differences.